Hello, welcome to another Vlogmas video. Today we're going to be hauling some of the books that I've bought this year. So I say some of the books I bought this year because I have slacked on my hauling. I have not done a haul video for ages. I can't remember the last haul video I did, so I thought I would do a little pre-Christmas book haul, show you what I've received, what I have bought, and anything just that's been an addition to my shelf over the past couple of months. But here's the thing, I have discovered that I really struggle / don't like filming videos where I'm just sat still for like an hour of filming and I've got a pile of books next to me and I'm talking to you about those books. I personally don't like filming those videos, and you're meant to film what you love. So I'm trying to work out ways to make my videos fit the kind of format that I really enjoy filming with. So that, in terms of unhauls, has been like a vlog unhaul style. And I was thinking how to make that work for a haul. So we're gonna try and do a similar thing. It's gonna try and be a vlog style haul. Now I don't know how well this is gonna go. So I'm gonna go over to each shelf, pick off the books that I think I've hauled recently from those shelves, and just chat with you about them in said shelf location, like I do with the unhaul. But yeah, let's see how this works. It may not work at all, but I just wanted to try a slightly different format. So welcome to my haul video. Let's see what books I've acquired recently. These books are going to be a mix of books that I've either bought myself, received in a book subscription box, or I've been sent by publishers, just to let you know for transparency. Hello, here we are in the corner of my lounge. And the first books I want to show you is a series. Now, I have hauled the first in this series, Wicked Fox, before I think, but this is the Fairy Loot edition. I managed to find this online. I think I got it on eBay because I read this and absolutely loved it, and then got the second one in hardback as well. This one was a gift, and yeah, they just are absolutely stunning. I wish there was another, I wish the Fairy Loot had done the second one so they matched, but they're so pretty. It was that way around, isn't it? I absolutely loved this first series. This is very much like an anime playing out in your head as a book, and just absolutely loved that. It's a romance, it's also a fantasy, and it's about a very guarded girl who's also a Gumiho, a nine-tailed fox, and her giving her like soul bead. I can't remember the exact name of the bead. Okay, it's called her fox bead, and it's basically what her soul is tied to, and she's kind of given this away or lost it, and it's about her trying to find it again to live. So I love the first book. I haven't read the second one yet, but I do intend to read that one very soon whilst I can still remember the events of the first book. Then we've got Pages & Co. The Book Smugglers by Anna James. Oh, I didn't say who Wicked Fox was by, did I? It's by Kat Cho. This is the fourth book in the Pages & Co. series. It follows Tilly, who can wander into the pages of books. It's just so fantastic. It's a middle grade series. This is the first one I think I've not read immediately as soon as buying it. I haven't read this one yet. It came out last month, I want to say. I probably will get to this one around January time. They're always super cute and wholesome. She dives into books that we know the world of as well, like Alice in Wonderland and Anne of the Green Gables, things like that. It's just very cute and wholesome, and her grandparents own a bookshop that I just want to dive right into and just explore. So absolutely love these. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, well, I recently got The City of Mist by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is his final book because unfortunately he passed away last year or the year before. He is the author of The Shadow of the Wind, which is one of my favourite books. He writes fantastic books about books, and this is a compilation of a couple of stories that are all surrounding a love of fiction, and I don't have any of his other books in hardback, and I felt like this one I wanted in hardback. It's his final book, unfortunately, and I bought this in the new Toppings shop that has opened up in Bath. They've moved location, and it felt like a significant book to buy in their new location. So this one means quite a lot to me. Okay, I also recently got A Christmas Carol, this really beautiful edition. I have read this. This is by Charles Dickens. This is just an absolutely stunning edition that I wanted to get for photos, for my shelves, for just prettiness. Really enjoy this story. A Muppet's Christmas Carol is one of my favourite Christmas films, so I wanted to have a pretty version of what that film is inspired by. Graphic novel wise, which are just down here, I recently bought myself Super Mutant Magic Academy by Gillian Tamaki. I read this one last month. Yeah, it was during Spoopathon. So, okay, so it was October, which is now 2 months, of course. So this was really cute, about lots of different comic strips featuring the students from this magic academy and how they all come together at the end for their prom, and it's just really sweet. I really enjoy the comic style. It just really made me laugh. And lastly, on my graphic novel shelf from this view, we have got the Fairy Loot Heartstopper, and oh my gosh, how pretty. It's shiny, it's sprayed. The underdust jacket is absolutely glorious as well. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. And this one is of course signed. Actually, I've just seen two more that I don't think I've spoken about since reading them as well, so this gives me a great opportunity to. So I've got two short graphic novels here that are kind of Halloween-y focused, I would say. So we have Fangs by Sarah Anderson, and we also have Letters for Liccardo by Ottavia Heikila. Now, these are very, very different from each other, but they are both vampire romances. This is a romance between a vampire and a werewolf. I loved it. It was super cute, very quirky and fun. I've just really enjoyed it. This one is a love story between a vampire and a human, and this one has a lot of sex scenes in it, and I just didn't expect it, and for that reason, reading it, I was just like, oh, cool, okay, all right, interesting. So this one really surprised me, but it was quite good fun, and was, I think, unlike any graphic novel I have read before, but yeah, both of these as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you these books like this because they are a bit difficult to get out with where they are on my shelf, but this is pretty much all new apart from the Ghost Tree. So we have Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, we have Reprieve by James Han Matson, The Man on Hackpen Hill by J.S. Monroe, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson, Eeny Meeny by M.J. Aldridge, The Last House on Needle Street by Catriona Ward, My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, The Nesting by C.J. Cook, Jim Eldridge's Murder at the Ashmolean, and What the Hell Did I Just Read by David Wong. And as I said, The Ghost Tree is not a new edition. This is what I'm attempting to call my horror shelf. So I have read The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and it was an interesting read. I didn't dislike it, it was interesting. I absolutely adored White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. That was phenomenal, amazing, so good, 5 out of 5 stars. And the rest of them I basically bought at the latter end of the spooky season because I wanted to have a bit more horror in my collection. I think the ones I'm most excited to read, I'm looking forward to Horror Store because this whole format is like an IKEA catalogue. It's just so unique looking. I just think it looks fantastic. So for that reason, I'm just really intrigued by this one. Reprieve also looks quite cool. It's like kind of escape room-esque, and The Man on Hackpen Hill is actually set around where my family live. So I was quite intrigued for that one for that reason. But yeah, there's quite a mix here, but this is, yeah, what I'm calling my horror shelf, because it mostly is horror. I think there's, like, this one isn't necessarily horror. I don't really know what this one is, but I was really intrigued by this. I have absolutely no clue. I'd never heard of it before, but I thought, it looks weird, let's get it. But I think out of all of these, this one, oh god, so good. So good. So yeah, that's my little collection here. Also down on the shelf next to my horror, I have got the Cottingley Cuckoo. This is by A.J. Elwood, and this is based on the Cottingley Fairies, which was the fairy pictures that two girls posted, or not posted, shared when they were, I think they were about like 10, 12-ish, maybe a little bit older than that, and they had these photos that had fairies in them, and it was amazing for the time, and people were trying to work out if they were real or not, and Arthur Conan Doyle and Harry Houdini were involved in it. It was really interesting, and this is a book inspired by this story as an offshot of this, so this one looks really interesting, and this one was also a gift. Okay, now we're over here next to my TV. It suddenly occurred to me that I think I did a birthday book haul, because I'm looking at a couple of these thinking I think I've hauled these before. So I think the last book haul I did was around my birthday time, so we're going basically from July onwards, but I may have duplicated a couple. I don't know, but this is what we have here. So a couple additions. I bought myself recently The Children of Jocasta by Natalie Haynes. I honestly don't really know too much about this one, but the cover was absolutely stunning, and I'm trying to expand what I read a little bit more. And this on the front of it has been blurred by Madeline Miller, who is a very highly reputable author, so that definitely gives me a good vibe for this book. The blurb says this is about Jocasta, who is 15 and she is ordered to marry the King of Thebes, an old man she has never met, but it is her duty to produce an heir who will alter the course of her life forever. Well, that sounds traumatic. This follows the lives of two forgotten women from the myth of Oedipus and Antigone, casting fresh light on these ancient and engrossing stories. So I bought this one as well because I already had received 1,000 Ships as a birthday gift, I think. So I wanted to have both of these. They're absolutely stunning covers, but I want to expand my reading a bit more. I'm getting a little bit more slumpy when it comes to YA. I'm not as interested in reading the YA as I am the adult now, and these are kind of the ones I want to delve a bit more into. I also have Beasts of Prey by Anya Gray. I think this one came in a fairy loot box. So this looks like it's about a city that had magic, and now magic is no more than a myth. and it follows two main characters, one who is a beast keeper at the zoo and the other who is destined to become an elite warrior. They're thrown together, they have no choice in the matter. They have to enter a jungle to try and capture a monster that's plagued the city for centuries. But it looks like magic's going to be returning. So this one, as I said, I'm pretty sure was included within the book subscription box. I also recently bought Stardust because I read this for a video, so I didn't have a copy of it, and it kind of bugs me that it doesn't match my other copies of my Neil Gaiman books. If you can tell, I've got the kind of, I don't know if these are the original or older covers there, and then the Coraline and Graveyard book are more of the children's covers, and then The Ocean at the End of the Lane is completely different, and this one is also completely different. So the hardbacks down here, I think most of these I've had for a while, but I don't know if I've hauled the Other Black Girl before. So this is The Other Black Girl by Zaika Dahlia Harris, and this I think I got in London a couple of months ago, so I don't think I've spoken about this one in a haul yet. So this follows our main character who works at a publishing house, but she is sick of being the only black employee there. And then someone new starts, Hazel starts working in the cubicle beside her, and they are getting along quite well, but then an event happens to see our main character become public enemy number one, and Hazel, the new girl, become the office darling. So this is when things start to happen where our main character is receiving threats and hostile messages, and she realises that there's a lot more at stake here than just her career. It says it's dark, funny and furiously entertaining. The Other Black Girl is a smart satire on race and the modern day workplace that will keep you guessing until the last twist. This looks really interesting. I've had it on my wishlist for a while, and then when I saw the hardback in WATERSTONES I was like, mine! I think everything else on here is stuff that I would have hauled before. So I feel like this section is kind of like my favourite shelves. I don't want to be mean to the other shelves, but I've got my two shelves here that are kind of like my main shelves really, and these ones have my special editions. We've also got the two that I'm going to haul today are the Once Upon a Broken Heart books that I have. This one is the absolutely stunning Fairy Loot edition. This is the WATERSTONES one. I've got the hidden cover under here as well. I have the book. Ta-da! So these are two beautiful, beautiful books. They are within the Caraval world. They are a separate series following Evangeline Fox as she is basically healing from heartbreak, but also trying to get out of a bit of a silly situation she's got herself stuck in. She didn't quite realise how bad it was at the time. She made a deal with somebody and now she wants out. So that's what these are. This is one book, 2 copies is about. Absolutely loved it. I love Stephanie Garber's writing so much, so I'm very pleased to have these two stunning editions. I've also got these Elizabeth Lim books. Now I don't want to get these down because I've kind of got them laid out perfectly central here, but we have got 6 Crimson Cranes, Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dusk, and these are the Fairy Loot editions. Now if I move over here, can we see the edges? Not really. It's just City of Brass. I don't want to disturb the, oh hang on, we'll get one. Look at these, they are absolutely stunning. So pretty. So I think I'm right in thinking that these two are a separate series to this one or in the same world? I'm not 100% sure, but honestly they're absolutely stunning. I know that they involve some magical dressmaking, tailoring type of thing. They're just so pretty and I do really want to read these ones pretty soon. So down here we have got 2 of the new Sylvia Moreno Garcia books. We've got the beautiful ones and we've also got Velvet Was the Night. Sylvia Moreno Garcia has been churning out books this year. These two are both absolutely stunning covers. I think I like the beautiful ones the best. But these are from the same author, as I said, Sylvia Moreno Garcia of Mexican Gothic, which I read and absolutely loved. So I'm expecting great things from both of these. So I think Velvet Was the Night is kind of film noir-esque but in book form and follows 2 people that come together investigating a murder, and the beautiful ones I think similarly to Mexican Gothic has kind of fantasy elements in it and also some romance going on there too. Okay, we have a whole shelf of Schwab here, but the ones I want to show you are these ones. Hang on, let me put the camera down. I think The City of Ghosts is possibly my favourite Schwab series, maybe. I really like the Villain series as well, but I wanted to get myself the hardbacks of these because they are just so pretty. I absolutely love them. This is, I think they're US covers, but yeah, I don't know where I got these actually. Where did I get them? Blackwell's maybe? But I had to. I love this series so much. It follows Cassidy Blake, who can kind of go between the living and the dead, and she has a best friend who's a ghost and she goes touring with her parents who are ghost hunters. It's great, it's great. It's just such a good series. So I got the hardbacks of these. I also recently caved and bought myself the Anniversary Addie LaRue because I love this book and this is so pretty and I couldn't not. So this is my 6th edition of Addie LaRue, but I've put one of them back at my family home so I don't have all 6 here, I just have 5. That's much better, right? So this is kind of my attempt at a rainbow shelf, but the one that I'm going to show you is basically just brown, so it doesn't really fit on very well, but this is The Cat Who Saved Books by Sosuke Natsukawa. This was everywhere at WATERSTONES and I kept seeing it, and it had a cat on the front, it had books on the front, so I bought it. So as cute as it looks, it also sounds really cute too. This is about a man and his cat who go on an adventure to try and save his bookshop, and the cat, I think, can talk. Yes, it's a talking cat who needs to go on a book mission. What could be better? Then we have Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. This one gave me serious Daisy Jones and the Six vibes, and that is pretty much all I know about it, but when I fancy that kind of a book, this will be the exact one I come to, and this one was also gifted to me. Then we have Don't Breathe a Word by Jordan Taylor, and I think this follows 2 different time zones and how those stories blur together and how there's something weird going on between the two to link them. So this one also sounds really interesting. Haven't read it yet, but a lot of these ones are falling I haven't quite been able to read yet. Okay, one that I have actually been able to read is Last Chance Books by Kelsey Rodkey. This is inspired by You've Got Mail and is a YA romance. Not normally the kind of thing I would go for, but I just enjoyed it. It was 2 people at rival bookshops falling in love, and it was really cute and fun, and it wasn't necessarily autumnal in the way that You've Got Mail is, but it gave me those vibes anyway because it was cozy and wholesome. 2 other new ones from that bottom shelf. I have got Some Girls Do by Jennifer Dugan, and this again was one that was gifted to me. This is one that I actually got gifted as part of winning a quiz for Spoopathon by Spoopy Hole. So this one is a LGBTQIA+ contemporary romance following 2 people who are trying to like break free from the mold that either their parents or society have set for them, and they end up discovering each other, and I assume a romance ensues. It is female, and it looks really cute. This is the kind of perfect read for summertime, I feel. And then we have 6 Angry Girls by Adrian Kistner. This one was sent to me as part of a promotion I was working on for a bookshop, and they said I could pick some books for it, so this was one of the ones I picked because it looks feminist. It looks like there's going to be some good highlighted conversations here, and that is basically why I picked it up, because it is literally about 6 angry girls who are going to do something about it. So I thought this one looked really interesting, but again, haven't read it yet because I'm awful, but I have just so many new books at the moment that I just really need to get to. Last month or the month before, I don't really know anymore, but there was a very exciting book release of Midnight in Everwood. I have 2 editions. I have the WATERSTONES edition, and I also have a personal signed copy from an indie bookshop. This is by M.A. Kuznia, and they are just fantastic. It's a nutcracker retelling. It's so magical. It's so beautiful. It is the perfect book to read at Christmas time, and yeah, I just love it. So I'm gonna flip you around here so you can see the shelf that we're currently looking at. But a couple of other new ones. I have got the Illumicrate editions of TJ Klune's The House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door, and I just love these. Look at that, sprayed pages, so pretty, absolutely love them. Just, yes, such good books too. I've read both of them, they're both 5 out of 5 stars from me. I've also got The Spirit Engineer by AJ West, which is a paranormal historical fiction based around the time of the Titanic, and I read this one a couple of months, well, last month, time, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really good gothic about a man who is basically trying to prove whether mediums are actually mediums or trying to scam people, and it's just fantastic. Oh, by the way, these 2, I didn't really say what they're about. They're very wholesome. They are LGBT. They follow absolutely beautiful storylines of people having redemption arcs and finding themselves and discovering new ways to live, and they're beautiful. They're so, so beautiful. So the other ones I think would be new. I'm really struggling to remember what I've already hauled. Have I hauled this? The Mad Woman's Ball by Victoria Mass. This one is following a group of women who are being dismissed for hysteria and their journey, and it's very short. I don't really know why I've not read this one yet, but this one again is kind of in the feminist shelf of books that I want to read because of that, so I can't remember if I've hauled that one or not. We've got Iron Widow. Have I hauled that one yet? Look how stunning this is. Look, oh, is this a Illumicrate or Fairy Loot? I can't remember. It's a book subscription box, and that cover is just absolutely beautiful. I don't really know too much about this, but oh my gosh, so pretty. And finally on this shelf we have got the special anniversary edition of If We Were Villains. I loved this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It's fantastic. This cover is absolutely stunning. I got this one from Toppings because the WATERSTONES editions had sold out, but I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. But yeah, I had to order it online from them. Okay, the final few books on these shelves. We have got TJ Klune's The Extraordinaries and Flashfire in hardback. These are superhero-y fun fantasies, I think. Generally, I'm just loving TJ Klune's writing at the moment, so I wanted to explore more from him. We've got a couple of book subscription boxes, but I'm not going to put these in the video because they've come out this month, and I don't want to ruin anything for you if you've not received your book if you live in a different country, so I don't want to ruin that, so we're gonna skip over those ones. Okay, on my kind of main hardback shelf, we have got The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is the signed anniversary edition. Again, it's from Toppings. It has a signed book plate. Now, I'll be honest and say this was a book that I didn't necessarily get on with as well as I wanted to when I read it the first time. However, there's certain reasons why I think that was the case, and I would like to reread it because the story I did enjoy. I think everyone was telling me I was going to cry and feel this emotion, and because I was told that, I didn't necessarily feel it because I was set up for it and I was almost expecting too much. So I need to reread it without those expectations, I think, and just read it to enjoy it rather than read it to expect to cry. Then I've also got The Maidens. Have we called The Maidens yet? This is by Alex Michaelides and I really enjoyed this one. I know a lot of people have said they disliked this, but I made a lot of tabs. This is dark academia, mystery, somebody has died and our main character decides that she's just going to go ahead and investigate it even though she has no authority to, which was a little bit ridiculous, but it was fun. Basically, if I just found a book an entertaining good time, even if it was not the best written thing in the world, I still rate that based on that enjoyment, so it can often come out as quite a high star rating for me, so that is the case with this one. Then we've got the two Empire of the Vampire editions. So this is the Illumicrate edition and this is the Waterstones one. I think I wouldn't necessarily have bought two if I'd have realised when I ordered the Waterstones one that there was an Illumicrate one coming. I think I clicked like about a month or two after pre-ordering this one. But now I've got them both. They are very pretty and I know I could just return this one, but they're really pretty. I have read this book as well. I didn't love it. I could see it was well written, but it wasn't quite for me. So yeah, it was 4 stars, but it wasn't absolutely blowing my mind. Okay, then we have these two. Oh, these are my special anniversary edition illustrated Lord of the Rings. Oh, they're from Waterstones and they are absolutely stunning. I just absolutely love them. So pretty. I love them so much. So we have this one and then we have this one. Are you ready? Are you ready? This is, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So yeah, there's those. They're amazing. I love them so much. And then on my thriller shelf, what have we got that's new? So I think these two, so we've got The Appeal and The Plot. They are both within my thriller shelf, so they're both going to be thrillers. I think this one is going up for Waterstones Book of the Year, but this one I think is mixed media and it's like trying to solve a murder through emails, text messages and things like that. So that looks really interesting. And then this is The Plot, in which I think somebody steals a dead author's plot for their book and tries to write it as their own and then starts receiving some threats to do with that. They both seem quite interesting and definitely ones that I think I would zoom through because I am quite enjoying thrillers at the moment. And then I think the final book up here is Stuart Turton's The Devil in the Dark Water. I have not been telling you the authors of these ones, have I? Sorry, I'm not very good at remembering to do these things, clearly. This one is the same author of The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which I actually DNF'd, but I had heard a lot of good things about this, so I thought I would pick it up. It's quite chunky, but I don't really know much about this other than the fact that it had really good reviews. So this one is set during the 1600s and it follows our main character, who is the world's greatest detective, being transported to Amsterdam to be tried for a crime he may or may not have committed. Okay, interesting. So I guess it's going to be like trying to work out who actually did the crime and who, like, how to solve it. I know that Stuart Turton writes quite clever books, I think, so this should be one that I enjoy. But yeah, I just haven't picked it up yet. And I think the final book in my little haul is my copy of Emma by Jane Austen, and this is an absolutely stunning Chiltern edition that I bought in Selfridges when I was in London, and I just absolutely love it. I haven't actually put this on my shelf yet, that's how fresh it is still, but it's so pretty. I love the gold edges. I don't know what the name for gold edges is. It feels like it doesn't do them enough justice to call them sprayed edges, but very pretty. So I think those are all my new books. I may have missed a couple off. I do have other rooms of books, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing new in those bookshelves since the last time I did a haul, because I tend to just put everything in here if it's new because I want to be able to stare at it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this format of a haul. Let me know how you found this, because obviously it's the first time I've done this kind of format. I personally preferred it. I found it less daunting to sit down and film, which is the aim of me doing it like this. I want to have fun filming it as much as you guys do watching it, so I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas so far. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what books you have hauled recently, or if there's anything that I've hauled that you would recommend me reading sooner rather than later. You can also subscribe to see more of my face on your feed, and if you hit the bell icon, it will mean you don't miss any of my future Vlogmas uploads. You can also find my Patreon link down below with lots of extra content from me. We've got a Christmas party, lots of fun stuff. It's going to be really, really great. Thank you so much for watching. Keep smiling and stay positive.